What's up, folks? This is Crypto with James talking today about finding the 100x coins. Now, there's one thing that I actually really want to go over. I'll briefly talk about some of the other key elements, but there's one particular area that I really want to focus on. Before I get into that, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. Had you invested $100 into each of these when I released videos about them, and you were still holding all that crypto, you'd be in profit for around 12k. But if you had cashed out at the highs of the previous cycle, you'd have been in profit for 123k. That's the difference between a bull cycle and a bear cycle, and cashing out at the right time. Obviously, it's very hard to cash out of every single position in the top, but if you're hanging on all through the bear cycle, it's not great. Anyway, we are in a bear cycle now, and it's the best time to invest. I've shown this throughout every single financial market going. If you want to see the coins that I'm buying up in the bear cycle, the ones that I think can do the 10x's, 20x's, 40x's, 50x's, 100, like I said with Phantom, then come check out copymycrypto.com. The link, guys, is in the description. Okay, so one thing that is useful to do is look at a site like coinpaprika.com. They've got previous all-time highs. So what you can actually do is rank cryptos based on the percentage to their previous all-time high. So you can see, as an example, any of these cryptos. Let's pick one. Let's go with Flow. Flow is 2,296% away from its previous all-time high. So that's actually a 22x, just shy of 23x to its previous all-time high. And if you're finding cryptos within this that you believe firmly are really strong projects that can get new all-time highs, this is a really useful tool for you. One thing I would point out, days from all-time high is actually very relevant. The cryptos that have had all-time highs in the past cycle are more likely to have a new all-time high than these cryptos that had all-time highs in like 2017 or 2018. So that's really something that's important to check, because if they've not reached a new all-time high since that ICO sort of bull cycle, the probability of them reaching any sort of new all-time high is very, very, very slim. Also bear in mind exactly what you're looking at. Like Terra Classic is obviously never going to achieve its all-time high price, and is probably one to stay away from. So yeah, that's it really, guys. So, and that's a really useful tool. On top of that, always look at the teams. If you're investing into cryptos that have teams, and I prefer that to anonymous teams, but if you have a team, then you've got a history of what they've done, that is worth looking at and keeping an eye on and seeing if they've had successes previously, because what's the phrase? History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. And if you've got a CEO or a founder of a project that's had a number of successes previously, then they're very likely to continue having those successes, or they're more likely. And combine that with good runs to recent all-time highs, you might have a little gem. But the actual new thing I wanted to talk about, because I've gone through the sort of 100x stuff before, and there's a number of things, whether it's the tech or whether it's the team or whether it's the USP, the unique selling point. How does it differ from its competition? But one thing that's worth noting is something like this. Now, the World Economic Forum have come out and they're hiring a blockchain and crypto lead. This is important. This is worth bearing in mind. The World Economic Forum is highly influential globally. And they are looking at hiring a lead for the blockchain and digital asset platform at its center for the fourth industrial revolution global network located in San Francisco, California. So the WEF's growing focus on digital assets. Now, so the Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution global network consists of centers spread across 14 countries around the globe and brings together leaders from business, government, international organizations, academia, and civil society to shape the global agenda on technology through high-level meetings, research networks, task forces, and digital collaboration. Specifically, the ad states that as part of the C4IR, the blockchain digital assets platform focuses on these and related topics, including crypto, CBDCs, stablecoins, and Web3, among others. So the future hiree will need to oversee and collaborate on multi-stakeholder projects to support the development of innovative approaches to policy and governance in these areas around the globe. To qualify for the position, And here's the thing. Look, the WEF have their say in a lot of things. They can influence policy around the world. They have the most powerful business leaders globally that come and meet to discuss things and to try and shape the policy that fits into what their mission is. This is a group that is talking about the Great Reset, that's talking about you'll own nothing and be happy, all of these things. They're going to have their say in crypto land, and it could be pretty dramatic because fundamentally, if we're seeing the biggest, most influential businessmen, politicians around the world talking about the same cryptos. Those cryptos are destined for success. I mean, that's a reality. Like, if all of a sudden, because think about the people that are attending these. Now, you got bloody, some of the, Justin Trudeau as an example is one that's, what was one of the young leaders that the WEF created. Whew. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning. But these people that have influence and massive influence, if they start talking about, let's say, Solana as one of the biggest things, as one of the best blockchains, what does that do? If you've got Bill Gates coming out saying that, if you've got bloody prime ministers or presidents around the world saying the same crypto's names over and over and over again. This is something to pay attention to because they have outlined, the WEF have previously outlined cryptos or blockchains that they believe are innovative. The WEF have actually done a number of different sort of developer awards for cryptos. Knowing what they themselves are backing is worthwhile because fundamentally these guys can force success on those projects because fundamentally they can force policy decisions and they can influence policy decisions in every sense of the word. They can influence the decisions on farming. We've seen that go to tits in America, not in America, in India. That's been a hellhole. In the Netherlands, things are getting really bad there as well for farming. They can influence every aspect of our livelihood, every industry within the world. So keeping an eye on crypto and the cryptos that they're talking about, the blockchains they're talking about, is really important because it keeps you one step ahead. And it may not be because those blockchains are particular quality. It may simply be because a lot of them have a stake in said blockchain that they start talking about. But really important to pay attention to this because these guys influence everything. And if they start talking and saying Stellar is the crypto that's going to change the world, or Stellar, we are looking at Stellar shaping the future of of all of Europe's blockchain, or we're looking at friggin' Neo, like I'm just pulling the ones out, they're definitely gonna not look at Neo, but say they're looking at Neo to be the underlying CBDC for all of America, all of a sudden these coins need to be bought. You need to be paying attention because they are going to have success. And it's almost inevitable. It's almost a given because these guys have forced technology and decision making down everyone's throats around the world for a while, and they're going to continue to do so. And as much as you may not like them, you may hate them, you may be indifferent to them, they are influential at the highest possible level. So watch what they're speaking about, because those cryptos probably are going to be immensely successful and set new all-time highs. So the WEF, their space is worth watching right now because they're going to have a say in which ones are the most successful. And that's it, guys. Look, it is really important that people pay attention to that stuff. I've spoken about the other stuff in the past. Looking at previous history of success with not only the team, but with the crypto themselves. Making sure you're not getting swept up by hype. Making sure that you're paying attention to trends, because trends, particularly in bull cycles, come in waves. But fundamentally, if you're seeing a trend in a bear cycle, that's probably going to pay off very, very well in the long term. There's a number of things that you're always looking for with 100x coins. Team is always a big one for me. I want to see a history of what they've done. I also want to see a roadmap that is aspirational, but they're hitting their targets along the way. Another thing always worth looking at. The WEF is worth talking about because they are, guys, some of the most powerful people in the world, and what they say and what they speak about will have an impact. You know, we've seen it with something as simple as like Elon Musk talking about Doge and Doge rocketing. And that's just one guy. Think about all the powerful guys talking about the same thing. So pay attention to it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you know when new content's coming out. And if you want to see the coins I'm buying up in the bear cycle, the ones I believe are going to make those massive, massive gains, the ones I believe will hit new all-time highs, the ones I believe can do 50x's, 100x's, all you got to do is come to copymycrypto.com, see the success stories on the site, and join me, guys. And if it doesn't resonate with you, don't. But carry on watching the channel because I try and get content out as regularly as possible. And that's it from me, folks. Take it easy. Bye-bye.